Hello Virgo, it's Lisa, and here is your April 2023 general reading. This is just a general reading, so if you would like a personal in-depth reading with me, all my information is below in the description box. Okay, so let's see what April brings for you. I'm also going to hold another contest this month. I'm having so much fun with them. If you subscribe and leave a comment on one of the videos, I'll enter you into a draw to win a reading with me. I'll be pulling the name at the end of April. Okay, so let's see what the messages are for you to start the month out, Virgo. So the overall message for April for you is the Three of Pentacles, all about building a foundation to your future. It really does feel very strongly that you need to kind of implement things, build this foundation for what's to come in the next, 20, 30 years. I think that has a lot to do with Pluto. Okay, so then what the challenges for April for you, Virgo, is wanting to withdraw and heal, and allowing yourself to heal as well. It's kind of a combo, it feels like. What you don't see coming this month is emotionally letting go of things in order to move in the direction you want to move in. And then where you need to focus for this month is a birth of an idea and things really growing. Okay, so let's get some clarity on this. So the Three of Pentacles is all about building a foundation to your future. It can be teamwork, putting things in place, putting a plan in place, moving in the direction that you want to move in, that is going to just grow your finances, grow your successes in other areas of your life. But this is kind of the month to put this foundation into place. So let's get some clarity on this. So the Nine of Wands really is all about, you've come through a lot of stuff, you've learned a lot of stuff, you've gathered a lot of information, which is building this foundation. So it is also about taking a break, right? They're talking about you taking a break to kind of step back, see where the foundation is, get a better picture, and then move forward. As you do that, it's about not overthinking and overanalyzing the situation, because you could be sitting there, building this foundation, moving towards the successes you want, working really hard, and you could start overthinking and not doing. So they're saying, really this month in April, don't forget that you also have to do. It's sort of like building a business or building like a website or something like that, and then not releasing it, or saying I'm going to build a business that has this service, but you don't do it. Like you build the foundation to it, you build the website, you build the product, you have everything in place, but you don't implement it. So it's all about this month. Don't forget you also have to do and apply some things in your life besides just building the foundation. You also have to be doing, which is great advice, actually. The next, because a lot of us get stuck in the building of the foundation and we never take that leap to get things going. So that's a great card. This is saying that if you do this, if you move forward, if you have this foundation and do at the same time, you get mental clarity. It's kind of like you're building this foundation, but you're not sure exactly how it's all going to play out or what it's going to look like. You're like trying to build it so you know exactly how it's going to look. And they're saying you'll know how it looks if you move forward. If you start to implement the stuff, then it'll come clearer and clearer how it's all going to come together. By kind of like preparing too much, you might be preparing for things that never happen, where it's sort of like the feeling of being over prepared, having everything perfect before you can start. And they're like, no, you need to kind of have the foundation and then move forward. And then you'll have the clarity of, oh, okay, I have to tweak here. I have to, add this, take this away. And that's the only way to kind of get things really clear in your head, how it's all going to play out. And then the base is just not settling and not kind of going, you know what, this will only be this big, or this will only be doing this. It's like sky's the limit. The world is your oyster. It's in your hand. You can make it whatever you want. Stop, because it feels very much like being hesitant to take that leap, right? So it's kind of like you're building it, you're doing the work. It's like writing a book, but not publishing it, or not trying to get it published with a publisher. It's kind of that kind of feeling where it's kind of like you're doing the work, you're building the foundation, but you need to put it out into the world and then allow it to grow and not hold it back, and allow the successes to come. Think big. Don't settle for just, okay, I'm just going to do this, sell locally. No, think worldwide, and think big is what they're telling you, which I know it can be scary, but I think there's this hesitation that, is it worth it? Is it, and because you're Virgos, it could be like you're thinking it needs to be absolutely 100% perfect before you release it out into the world, or before you do it. And it's like, no, you don't. It doesn't. You can tweak it as you go, and know that. The challenge you have is healing. And again, this is very much like being withdrawn. Like if it has this feeling of holding back and going, okay, well, I'm not going to release that until, right, I'm healed, or until it's perfect, or until whatever. It's sort of like the idea that, like, I was asking them what is kind of an idea that how I can relay it to you. And they're like saying, like, say if you wanted to do a wellness YouTube channel or wellness anything, and it's kind of like, oh, well, I can't do that until I'm, perfectly fit, and then I can release it, and then I'll just like kind of share all the information once I have the successes. And they're like, no, you don't need to do that. You need to share your story as you go, rather than waiting till it's perfect and then share the story, because it's almost like there is no perfect, there's only growth. And so if you keep waiting and waiting and waiting, you'll never have the moment, right? So it's kind of like, stop withdrawing, stop being afraid of putting whatever it is out, having the rebirth, doing the work, because it's like you're doing the work, but it's behind the scenes, and it's like it's time to go forward and show it, and just take that deep breath. So let's get some clarity on that. Love that. I just, sometimes tarot makes me laugh, because I get the messages, I tell you what it is. When I read tarot, it's very intuitive with spirit, right? Spirit kind of gives me the messages for it. And I do include some traditional in it as well, but they just went through this whole thing about coming out of your comfort zone and all of that. And then there's the Fool card, which is exactly that, coming out of your comfort zone, moving towards the things that you want, taking that leap of faith, and going for it, and not kind of hiding back and holding back. This is like, you are done. You're done. You need to move forward. You need to stop it. Stick a fork in you. You're done, tweaking and adding things, and it's or being treated a certain way, or treating yourself a certain way. It's like, you're done. You need to just do it. Jump over that threshold and go for it. And then you have the Tower. So the Tower, they're talking two different ways. So they're saying that if you don't make the leap, the universe will make the leap for you. So it's kind of like, if you stay stuck and you're like, oh, I'm not ready to release it, I'm not ready to release it, the universe will be like, guess what? You're ready to release it. And they'll kind of take something away in order to force you to kind of share it, or do something in your life that kind of shifts it. But it does feel, excuse me, I'm recovering from a cold. It does feel very much like, if you take these steps that they're telling you, take this, like, just go for it. It shifts your whole life. And it is just like your life goes from one way of being to another way of being. And it is so positive. Even though the card looks scary, it is like your whole life shifts. It'll be so worth, because I think that there's a fear that if you release it out into the world, what will people think? What will happen? Is it going to be worth it? It's very much like they're showing me like a mummy bird and a baby bird, and it's just kind of like, if I kick this baby out of the nest, will it fly? And then the baby flies and grows and flourishes, and it's like, wow, I didn't need to be afraid of that at all. But your whole life shifts, and the baby flies and grows. And then if you move forward and stop holding back, the universe will provide you with exactly what you need in order to keep going forward. So, it feels so strong about coming out of your comfort zone and going for it, and stop holding back. Like, put it out in the world, do what you're going to do. It's really strong. What you don't see coming, the Queen of Cups, is you emotionally letting go and going for it. This is very much like let God, let universe, where it's just going, okay, you know what? I am going to go for it. Que sera, sera. What will be, will be. I'm just going to do it and see how it all plays out. I've prepared. I can change things as it goes forward. I am just going to put it out there, and I'm going to do it. I'm just going to go for that and see how it, like, whether it's like, I'm going to go for that job, even though I'm terrified I don't have everything I need to qualify for that job, but I really want to do it. So, okay, I'm going to apply, and I'm just going to let go and see what happens. If I'm meant to have it, I'll have it. If I'm not, I'm not. And so there's the concept of doing that. And then it's also about, by going for something and going out, it allows you to emotionally let go. And the things that you're afraid of, the things that, hurts that have happened, all of that kind of stuff, the action of taking that leap changes all of that and allows you to let go of all the things you've been holding on to, especially emotionally. So it's a really, like, it benefits you in so many ways besides just financial success and other successes. It emotionally helps you as well. Where they want you to focus is the birth of this idea, or the birth of a new way of being, and making it grow and helping it grow. So again, this is general, so it may not resonate with everyone, but it really does feel like no matter where in your life you are kind of going for it, coming out of your comfort zone, joining a club, joining a health and fitness, talking to a nutritionist, going for a job that you thought you couldn't go for, quitting your job and going for a new career, or building the birth of a business, a birth of a book. So it can apply to many different ways in your life. So let's get some clarity in this. It is about living life. It's saying that if you do this, have this rebirth, there's going to be a lot of happiness, fulfillment, celebrations, good times, and expansion of your life. Your life expands. There it is. And that's interesting. So they're saying, by actually coming out of your comfort zone and going for it and having this rebirth, that actually builds the foundation stronger by doing. It's like you can only build the strong foundation so, like, at a certain level by preparing, but by doing actually makes it stronger. Wow. By going forward and going for it, you get the Sun, which is one of the best cards in the deck. That is happiness, fulfillment, success. I mean, it's amazing. It's so worth just taking that leap of faith. And then you get the Hangman. The Hangman is, by having this rebirth, this new beginning, by going for this, you get a whole new perspective. So again, there's this concept of emotionally things adjust. where it's like, I thought I couldn't do that before. I thought, you know, all these fears and doubts and everything else. And by just taking that leap, you get a new perspective, you learn new things, you get to see things from a different viewpoint. And it's like, wow, okay, this is a whole new ball game. And then you start to grow from there. So really, really interesting, Virgo. I'm really excited to see what happens in April and May. It's going to be an exciting time for you as long as you just go for it. I am going to, like I said, check in weekly this month just because there's so much going on. I'm going to just do weekly check-ins and just see and guide and help you guys through the month. Okay? Sending you tons of good vibes. Have a great April, and I'll talk to you soon.
You'll not get the arse you want by sitting on it.